What's up, everybody? Over the past month or so, I have been cleaning and organizing my game room, and while I was doing that, I realized it's been a long time since I've filmed any sort of like update on the process of me selling my collection, how much stuff I still have left. So I figured I would give you a little bit of like backstory at the start. Also, Eddie is filming. Say hi, Eddie.
What's up?
All right, so 6 years ago, actually a little over 6 years ago, I put up a big game room tour. It's when I was still collecting. And that was like 30 years in the making of game collecting, and it was just a really long video. Then I kind of stopped making videos on YouTube for a while, and 4 years ago, while I wasn't making videos, I decided to stop collecting, and I was going to start selling my collection piece by piece. I knew that was going to take a long time, and then you jump to about 3 years ago.
That's why I came in, right?
Yeah. We were. I started back on YouTube, started making content again. But during that time, I didn't put up a video right then saying like, "Oh, by the way, guys, I also am selling all of my stuff." I mentioned it throughout other videos, like yard sales and when we were at conventions and stuff. But it wasn't until 2 years ago that I actually put up a video saying, "Hey, by the way, everything's for sale. We did a quick walkthrough." So I'm going to link the original big game room tour video in the description down below from like 6+ years ago. So if you want to see everything at that point that I had, then you can get an idea of kind of where I'm at now. But this is both an update just to see the room, and also an update where if you're interested in buying anything, everything is for sale still. I am still selling stuff. I am selling stuff piece by piece. No, I am not selling the entire collection in one lump sum to somebody. I'm trying to go over all the things that I usually get asked, like in messages or questions. So if you're interested, you can hit me up. The Instagram link and the Facebook link are in the description section of this video. And, like I said, I'm shipping stuff. I'll mail it to you. You don't have to come to my house. Back when I first started selling, we were trying to kind of make it like, if you're in Florida or you happen to be coming to Florida, because there were so many people that were hitting me up. But these days, I'm definitely, willing to ship stuff and even do kind of like payment plans, So if there's some expensive item you want and you want to pay it off in little chunks, I've been doing that for people as well. So here, Eddie, scoot back a little bit.
All right.
So one big thing I was doing over the last month is I've sold a bunch of stuff. And that left a lot of spaces on shelves. I've taken stuff to conventions. We'll insert some like video clips here while I'm talking. I have like 50 bins and boxes of convention stuff, and a lot of it is stuff from the game room that is now in bins, and other it's just like yard sale pickups. So it's a big mix of all types of stuff. But basically, I'm mentioning that I have all this stuff in these bins because it's gonna look like there's a lot more stuff missing than there really is. I probably sold about 5,000 items over the last 4 years from the actual game room, but there are still tons and tons of items, as you'll see. So one thing I discovered is now that I have all this space, I can really organize it better. I can bring this is all PS1, PS2, PS3 stuff. It's like 99% of it that was kind of mixed around the room is now kind of all in one area. So you'll see all the box systems, big collector's editions, rental cases, storage bins. There's, granted, unfortunately, even organizing it, there's still some objects that are just too big to really fit, in this area. So you'll notice maybe one or two big collector's editions for PS3 still somewhere else. But most of everything is now all organized. I have every strategy guide organized for these are all multi-system guides, that will be for PS2, 3, Xbox 360, Xbox. If it's a game that came out on multiple systems and the guides for multiple systems are all kind of in this area, or Sony exclusive guides are also in this area. I still have Eddie smashing figurines against the wall. I still have lots of Resident Evil toys available. I've only sold a few, mainly because for these I kind of want to sell them in sets. I don't want to have one go away and then be stuck with 5 out of 6 from one of the sets. Lots of Final Fantasy. I've sold some of the Final Fantasy toys. We have a lot of random video game figurines from all different types of stuff, from everything from Zelda to Destiny on there. And then Eddie, so this is something that you would not have seen in really any of the last collection videos or game room tour videos I've done, because I decided I was still kind of collecting one thing. I was wanting to finish my Mighty Max toy collection. So this is a complete Mighty Max toy collection of every toy set, playset they ever released. Not every color variant, because some of the variants are like, yeah, we made like 10 of this one random color by mistake maybe, or they just printed it in like Germany. I wasn't going that crazy. But anyways, that is a complete Mighty Max collection. Technically, I guess it is kind of for sale too, even though I just finished it this year. Like I said, everything is for sale. I just wanted to kind of finish this for the hell of it. But if someone wanted to buy the entire Mighty Max collection, I think that's the only way right now that I will sell the Mighty Max stuff. I'm not going to try to split that up. It was a lot of it was a lot of money towards the end getting these little teeny guys that are super rare, and they took quite a long time to track down through different countries. So yeah, if you want to buy Mighty Max, I think that would be a one and done thing. But this is more focused on the video games, not the toy stuff anyway. So this section over here is a lot of PS4 collector's editions. I try to get every PS4 collector's edition that would fit on these shelves to go over here, because PS4 and Switch are probably the two biggest sections when it comes to like collector's editions, special editions, limited run games, like all that kind of stuff. Keep coming this way, Eddie. We have Eddie's being very quiet because he did not get much sleep last night. So.
Yeah, I'm focusing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to break something or trip over something.
Yeah.
More PS4 stuff. We have, so one reason I also wanted to do this video is I've been cleaning the room, getting it organized, and behind these bookshelves is a big closet, and in that closet is nothing but promotional material, standees, posters, more oversized boxes, I believe, are in there, like promo boxes. And I have not opened this closet for 10 years. It has literally been sealed shut with these shelves in front of it for that entire time. So now that I have the room cleaned, I'm going to be doing a video pretty soon, cracking this thing open, showing what's inside. Not going through every single item because there are hundreds and hundreds of signs and standees and stuff in there. But those items will be available for sale also. So once, I get that done, keep an eye out. Like I said, probably in the next month, 2 months, there will be a video from inside this closet. So keep an eye out for that. Still got a lot of promotional material and stuff in here. Here's like an example of this like post-pandemic Last of Us box. I just did not have any more room in the PS3 section. Same thing with this Killzone. They just wouldn't fit. So those are little like outliers over here. But I was able to get like all of the Xbox 360, Xbox One, like collector's editions that I still have left over here. I did not go as hard collecting wise for like after Xbox 360 era, like Xbox One, I focused more on like PS4. So luckily, I didn't have a million gigantic more boxes to try to find a place to fit in here. Here, come back here, Eddie. Mm-hmm. I've sold a lot of handheld systems. I had a pretty big collection of like complete in-box handheld systems. There are a handful left in this case over here. Also this shelf right over here, Eddie. I have a few of like the DS, DSi systems left. Back over here, most of this is like promotional items, posters, press kits, store manager like launch kits. There's a lot of those for a bunch of different games. These are all, I would say, like most of these are like PS3 to PS4, Xbox 360 up to Xbox One era, like promotional store kits. There's like what, Elder Scrolls, like Morrowind 1, and then a few Wii related, like Switch related items that wrap around to behind me. Like all of these are complete in-box Wii systems, Wii U, some Nintendo ones. And then on this side is the remainder of like loose handheld systems that I have. This cabinet was completely full at one point, but at least it's a little bit more presented nicely.
Yeah, it's true.
And then I have the remainder of all of my, like, most of these are all new, like, sealed controllers. Switch, Wii, Xbox One, Xbox 360, some PS4, lots and lots of controllers. I was a crazy controller collector. But now I can actually access them, because before this whole side was I could barely even get back in here.
Yeah, we could even walk in this.
Yeah,
shit.
now it's just this one little stack that I can easily slide back and forth, so that makes it a lot easier. Here, go ahead and go that way. One cool... Watch out, Eddie, you bumped Pikmin.
Oh, my bad.
One cool thing that now that I can kind of access a lot of drawers and bins that had random like collector items, where if like you buy the collector's edition and it comes with a poster, or you buy it and it comes with a sticker sheet. I didn't have those on the shelves. I had those like stored away, but now I'm able to pull those out to kind of piece it all together. So like if Fear 3 on 360 had this like promotional like magnet that came with it. So I've been doing that, piecing a lot of things together. It also makes it a lot easier, you know, when I go to sell something, it's like I can combine a magnet or a poster or whatever with the game.
I didn't know you had this.
A Wolfenstein blimp?
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier doing that than trying to sell a magnet by itself and then the game by itself. This is the remainder of Xbox 360 and Xbox One, and then it kind of falls down into the PAL section down here. I actually sold a lot of the 360 games back when the system was like not going to be online anymore. People couldn't digitally download the titles. They were shutting down the store, and a lot of people were like, I got to get these games before they're gone and they're $1 million. Of course, like everything, they went up and then they came back down. So during that craze, a lot of the 360 games did sell. I do still have a fair chunk in one of the bins out there from the convention, selection of items. Super Nintendo, it's going to look like I don't have much in the sense of complete in box games. There are complete in box games behind these systems. I just wanted to get these systems out so they're presented so people can actually see which systems I have, because I do treat this like kind of as like a little shop. People can come over and actually shop in person if they want to. So it's better when they can see everything all in one section and not like, do you have a box Super Nintendo? Do you have a Model 2 one? Well, now it's all here in one nice, easy to find section. DS, Wii, GameCube, 3DS. Big surprise, I've sold a lot of that. People love collecting, for like the Nintendo handheld and for GameCube era. Again, there is a good chunk of this stuff in bins for the convention, but I would say I've sold probably about half of my DS and 3DS collection over the last 4 years for sure. I do now have all like the boxed GameCubes all together. There's like 5 or 6 of them, some here, like the Metroid one. We have Genesis and Master System. Still a lot of Genesis games. I've pretty much sold all of the huge heavy hitters for Genesis and for a lot of the systems, honestly. Obviously people, those are the ones they went for first. They ask like, do you have the top 5 games on each system? So Crusader, Sinti, Musha, those kind of things are gone, but I have a lot of like the shmups still left. Again, if you don't see something sitting on a shelf in here, it doesn't mean I don't have it. It just means it's in the convention bins. So feel free to ask if I do still have some of the higher end items, games, especially like Super Nintendo, like complete in box. I still have a lot of the high end complete in box Super Nintendo games available. Another bin full of promo items. Like I mentioned, I am kind of pulling these things out and piecing them with games just to make it easier both to sell for myself, so it's not as many things I'm trying to sell individually. But if you, here, Eddie, stand up real quick. Like, to give you an example, all these like little animal either plushies or keychains that came with all like the Harvest Moon games, I'm pulling them all out and putting them with the game. And then like all these like individual, like I hated this era where they were like, here, we're gonna make a collector's edition of the game, but the game developers aren't going to worry about the collector's edition items. They're going to hire another company. So here's your keychains, and here's the box set, and it's separate from the game. So it's, I don't know. To me, like, did that annoy you, Eddie? When they?
Yeah, it did.
If I want a collector's edition, I want it to all be in the same box.
One thing.
I don't
Just
want
like the metal tins now, where the game's not in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want 7 items separate. That's just like going and shopping and buying 7 different items. I would want a collector's edition all together in the same box. That happened towards, I would say, the last, when did it start? Maybe like 10 years ago, like the 2015 era. They were cranking out so many collector's editions like that, and that got frustrating. We have the other Sega stuff, lots of box systems, Genesis and Dreamcast. I think this is actually all of my remaining Saturn games. I've sold half of my Saturn games. We have lots of... I pulled out all the controllers.
With a CDX.
CDX, I finally got... I lost my power cable.
Oh, so you got one.
I went ahead and just bought an off-brand one. Over the years, somehow, either I lost the original one, or I never even had the actual correct original one. I might have had, I was maybe using the wrong power cable. But
Dreamcast.
But yeah, that's another example. I'm piecing together like all these systems now. I found all the cables for out of bins, so they're all together. All the different Dreamcast color controllers and some box ones. Turbo. I still have Turbo games. The Turbo games are not on a shelf anymore. They are in a convention bin because it's about, I don't know, this many complete in box Turbo, and then like this many case manual Hue card, not with the original cardboard box, so it's enough I can just put in one bin and take it to conventions. But now I have room to spread out all the controllers and all that. And then we come to the PS4 complete sealed collection. At one point I had, I think, 1,100, 1,200 PS4 games. They have not sold a whole lot. It makes sense. Most people weren't collecting PS4 sealed titles over the last 5 years unless you were collecting like limited run, like the new release stuff, the very this came out for only 1 month, kind of releases. So slowly making my way through these, pulling out games. Like I just recently sold the Dark Souls trilogy, like steelbook version on PS4. There are ones that now are getting, 5 years old, 6, 7 years old that people are like, I do want that, and it is harder to find, especially trying to find like a nice clean or like sealed copy. But again, piecing things together, all these stupid random items that came as like pre-order bonuses or collector's edition bonuses, trying to find and match up, those items to their participating game. Then this section is all Switch collector's editions, double layered. Here you can take a peek real quick. Like behind all the front ones is a crap ton more. So there's like over 100 on these shelves right here of Switch collector's editions.
Switch collector.
And the Switch stuff literally is the entire top section of these shelves also, Eddie. And all the way down to the end is all Switch. There's a lot of Switch. And then like NES, I've now consolidated just to 2 shelves. It used to be 3, so I've sold a good chunk of that. So that's like kind of the remainder of the NES stuff. Mm-hmm. And then if we just go back to give you an idea, this is also, I don't think we really focus too much on the top, but these are all like new Switch systems, more Switch collector's editions. There's like PS4 and Switch, there's just so much of. But I think that is basically a good overview of what I have remaining. I've sold boxes off the ceiling, and then I've filled holes with more boxes as I've sold those. And I have, at some point we're going to get into that closet in the next, month or 2 months.
I can't wait.
I know Eddie's very excited to see what's in. Like I know what's in there. It's standees and posters and that kind of thing.
I just want to see it. It's like a present.
Yeah, but I haven't been in there for 10 years, so I don't remember exactly all the games, that are represented in there in promo item form. I want to mention also, we have some conventions coming up. They're both like one-day shows, and they're in Florida, so obviously I don't expect you to travel from out of the state, but if you happen to be in the area or you do want to come down, we have February 15th, Southwest Florida Retro. It's a game, toy, all types of collectibles, record and stuff. It's on a Sunday, which is interesting, and that is in Fort Myers. And then April 11th is Largo PlayCon. Again, a one-day show that's on a Saturday. And both are really fun. I've done PlayCon multiple years now, and Southwest Florida, this will be my second time there. So come check me out. Come check those shows out if you're in the area. Again, hit me up, Facebook or Instagram. Those links are in the description. If you're looking for anything, Give me some time, obviously, to reply and respond. And please try to be precise with what you're looking for. And I can't take a photo of every single item, but if you can give me like, hey, I'm interested in this system, or these particular types of series on these systems, like, narrow it down. That's also why I made this video, is it makes it a lot easier to at least get an idea of what I have, to save you time, to save me time, and hopefully I can sell you some stuff. And some of this collection, that's 35 years now going, can go to you. So thank you for watching. Talk to y'all later. Peace.